topic number 17, global variable. So let's look at. So we have studied about the dynamic and local variable in the next video. Now moving forward for learning about the global variable. So the types of variable. As we have studied about the type that variable can be classified into three categories, that is dynamic, local and global. So in the previous video we have talked about the dynamic variable and local variable and its properties. Now in this video we are going to learn about global variable and the properties possessed by the global variable. And this is so important topic also. So let's look at global variable. So a global variable is a variable declared outside opening and close curly braces is referred to as a global variables, or we can say permanent variable. So it can be accessed anywhere. It can be accessed anywhere because it is a global variable, because it is a permanent variable. So all the global variables are created in the global region or permanent region and possess the properties of a global region. So this is the most important point. As we have studied about the local variable that is going to be created, allocated on the stack region. As we have studied about the dynamic variable that is going to be created on the heap region. But what we are studying here is that all the global variables are created in the global region or permanent region and possess the properties of the global region. So this is so important thing. So actually in the sense we can say that a global variable is a declared outside opening and close curly braces. What we have studied about the local variable, that is it is within the open and close curly braces, and that is the difference between the local variable and global variable. If we talk about the similarity, that then it is going to be run before the execution time, or we can say compile time. So we have differentiated all these terms. Now let's look at the examples of it. So here we have used the two header files, studio.h header file and connu.h header file. So this file has been included here in this file of C language. Now I have used the two variables G1 and G2. Okay, I have used the two variables G1 and G2 whose return type, or we can say whose data type is integer. Now here it is a global variable. Why it is so? Because it is declared. It is declared outside of this curly braces. What is the variable? What is the global variable means? A variable declared outside opening and close curly braces is referred to as a global variable, or we can say permanent variable. So it can be accessed through anywhere. So it can be accessed by any function also, because it is permanent variable, or we can say global variable. So it can be accessed, or we can say used by the function. Now here, because we have declared G1 and G2 whose data type is integer, so it is acting like a global variable. Why it is so? Because it is declared outside of the curly braces, open and close curly braces. That's why it is a global variable. And we have talked about the global variable is that all the global variables are created in the global region. So when we declare this global variable G1 and G2, then it is going to be created or allocated on the global region, or we can say permanent region, and possess the properties of the global region. So after that I have used the function f1, we can say function 1. In that function I have used return G1. So whatever the value of G1 it is going to be returned in this function, and when this function is being called, that is going to be returned there. After that I have used so this is the user defined function. You can define your function. Now after that I have used G3 and G4, which is also a global variable. Why it is? Because it is declared outside of this curly braces. Therefore, it is a global variable and it can be accessed because it is a permanent variable. Therefore, it can be accessed anywhere through this function or this main function. Now, after that, I have defined another function which is the main function, and that is going to be done here, whose return type is empty. That is void. After that, I have opened the curly braces. So this is the local variable. I1 and I2 is a local variable because it is within this curly braces. Therefore, it is a local variable. But G1 and G2 and G3 and G4 is a global variable because it is declared outside of this curly braces. Open and close curly braces. Therefore, G3 and G4 is a global variable and G1 and G2 is a global variable. Now here, I1 and I2 is of type integer. So, and because it is within this curly braces, therefore it is a local variable. Again, I3 and I4 is also a local variable, and its life period is within this curly braces, and its life period is within this curly braces. I1 and I2 life period is within this curly braces. I3 and I4 life period is within this curly braces. Okay. So these are the local variable. But G1 and G2 are global variable. G3 and G4 are global variable. I1 and I2 are local variable. I3 and I4 are local variable. What about this variable? So this is also a global variable because it is declared outside of the open and closed curly braces. So G5 and G6 is also a global variable of data type int. So it can only store integer type value. Now after that, I have declared another function, function 2. In that I am returning G2. So what will happen? It will return the value of G2. That will be the garbage value given by the C. After that, I have uses again G7 and G8 of data type int. So it is also a global variable because it is declared outside of the open and close curly braces. So this is what we can say. We can differentiate the local variable and global variable on the basis of what we have studied till now. So moving on the properties of the global variable, and it's really going to help you. So let's move on. Properties of global variables. So we can say that the properties possessed by a global variable are as follows. Life period of the lifespan of the global variable. The default initialized value of the global variable, and accessing how we can access a global variable, and that is going to help you. As we have studied about the properties of the local variable, now we are going to learn about the global variable, the properties of the global variable. So these three are the properties of its life period, or we can say lifespan, the default initialized value, and accessing. So these three are the properties possessed by a global variable. Now, life period or lifespan of a global variable. Moving on the first properties of the global variable, that is life period or lifespan of a global variable. So, the first point is saying us that a global variable are created when it's declared encountered first and remain continuous till the end of the program. And the life period of, we can say, the life period of a global variable is still when it in the program. So, we can say its lifespan is larger and higher than the local variable because the life period, or we can say lifespan of the local variables was within the curly braces. What the life span, or we can say life period of the global variables are continuous till the end of the program, and that is so important. That is why it is known as a permanent variable that we can use it everywhere. Hence, global variables are accessible by code followed it. How we can access it? Let's look at it. Examples of it. So here you are seeing that I am using the studio.h header file and conio.h header file. So studio.h header file stands for standard input output header file, and conio.h header file stands for control input output header file. Now I have used these two files here because we are using the printf function, and this printf function is within this studio.h header file, and lots of the thing is within this concatenate header file. Therefore, these two files must be needed and must be needs to declare in the C file and the C program, because it is going to make you a printf function, which is a built function in studio.h header file. So after that, I have declared G1 and G2, whose return data type is integer. So G1 of type int and G2 of type int. So here we can say that G1 and G2 are the variable, and which type of variable? Global variable it is, because a variable which is declared outside of the open and close curly braces, that is known as a global variable. Therefore, G1 and G2 are the global variable. So G1 and G2 is a global variable. After that, I have to declare a main function whose return type is void, means empty. Then I have used the curly braces. Therefore, after that I have used the CLRSCF function whose work is to clear the screen. So it will clear all that thing which is written on the screen. After that, I have used the printf function, which is an inbuilt function in C language, which help us to display a message on the screen, which is within this double quotes. So I have printed G1 is equal to percentage %d, G2 is equal to percentage %d. So, and we have talked about the life span for the global variable is till it ends the program. So life scope of global variable is larger than the life scope, or we can say life span of the local variable. Therefore, G1 is going to be printed here and G2 is going to be printed here. And this is how we can say the life period of G1 and G2, which is the global variable, is till it ends the program. So moving on the next example, that is, you can say we are using lots of the prototype of the function f1 and prototype of function f2, user defined functions returning no values, also again user defined function returning a value, then user defined function returning a value, then a local variable, we can say global variable. So let's look at this example. We have used the studio.h header file, we have used the funny.h header file. So this is the header file which we need to declare here. After that, I have given the prototype of this function, this function, that this function is going to return integer data type, this function is going to return integer data type. After that, I have used the two variable, that is the global variable here, because it is outside of this open and close curly braces. Therefore, G1 and G2 are acting as a global variable here and of type integer. After that, I have used the main function whose return type is void. Then I have opened this curly braces. In that, I have used the CLRSCF function whose work is to clear whatever is written here on the screen, means on the standard input of header file, we can say in the monitor of the C language. So whatever will be written there before the execution of the program, that will be cleared by the CLRSCF function. Now after that, I have used the printf function, which is an inbuilt function in the studio.h header file. Its work is to display the content of the message on the screen. That should be within the double quotes. Therefore, G1 is going to be printed here and G2 is going to be printed here with a new line. So the value of G1 and G2 is going to be placed here. Okay. After that, I have used again the variable G1 and G2, but with the help of function f1 and function 2. So what here will be going is that it will if we call the function, then it will go here function 1 at function 1 and return the value of G1 here. So whatever the value of G1, that will be stored here. And after that, I am calling the function 2. Therefore, this will went here and it will return the value of G2. So the value is going to return here. So this is how it is going to work. So moving on the next property, that is default initialization, or we can say initialized value. So if a global variable is not initialized explicitly at the time of declaration, it is initialized implicitly by value 0. So this is very important point. If we compare with the local variables, then we can understand that the value that is going to be initialized defaultly, that is the garbage value. So we can say that in local variables, if we not initialize the value, then the default value it going to carry is the garbage value. What? In a global variable, when we are not going to initialize the value at the time of declaration, then it is initialized implicitly by value 0. So this is the main difference between the local variable and the global variable on the properties of the default initialized value. So let's look at the global variable are accessible by code follow it. So how we can access the global variable? So let's look at it. So hashtag include studio.h header file, hashtag include conio.h header file. So studio.h header files stand for standard input output header file, which help us to call that file which is under the studio.h header file, and to call that file which is under the conio.h header file. Then after that we have uses the two variables, that is g1 and g2. So here g1 and g2 is acting as a global variable because it is a global variable because it is outside of the curly braces, open and close curly braces. Here you are seeing that it is outside of the open and close curly braces. Therefore, it is a global variable. After that, I have used the main function whose return type is void. Then I have used this curly braces. Then I have used the CLRs function whose work is to clear the screen. Then I have used the inbuilt function of the studio.h header file, and I am printing g1 equal to percentage %d and g2 is equal to percentage %d. So what will happen here is that we can access the value of g1 because it is declared first. So we can access the value of g1 and g2 also. What we cannot access the value of g3 and g4 because it is outside of this program. So this is not going to be accessed. But we can access this. If we declared in the upper section, then we can access it. But because we have declared here, then we are not going to access it. And this is the accessing power of the global variable. So I think that you may have understand all the topics of the dynamic, local and global variables. So just focus on these things because it is basic part of the C language. So thanks for watching, and I have some of the question for you. Here is that you have a question here is that we have declared a studio.h header file and conio.h header file whose work is to uh, carry all that file in this C program which is under the studio.h header file and which is under the conio.h header file. Now after that I have uses the prototype of function 1, okay. And then I have declared the global variable g1 and g2 integer data type. Then we have declared a main function whose return type is void, and in that I have opened the curly braces, and I have used the CLR function whose work is to clear the screen. After that printf function, and I have displayed the value of g1 and g2 here. Therefore the value is going to be available here because g1 and g2 is declared here, and g1 and g2 is acting as a global variables. After that I printed the values of g3 and g4, and it is not going to be accessible here because we have declared here. As far we have talked about these things, so this is not going to be accessible. After that I have used the function 1, I have called the function 1, then it will go here and go here in the function 1 and performs this activity, that is the printf function. Printf function helps us to display whatever is written here. So I am declaring g1 is equal to percentage d. So it is going to be accessed here, and g2 is equal to percentage. So it is also going to be accessed here. So whatever the value of g1 contained in here in it and g2 contained here, that will be replaced with this format space file. After that I have uses again a printf function, and in that I have declared g3 equal to percentage d, g4 is equal to percentage d. So whatever the value of g3 contained, whatever the value of g4 contained, that will be replaced here. So it is accessing here what it is not accessing here because we are declaring it here and not here. If we declare here, then we can access it easily here. And that is what the thing says. So, thanks for watching. धन्यवाद.